is Jay Menon and welcome to Stadium Unplugged. If you're not too familiar with our show, it's where we sit down with Asian and global sports personalities to find out the real person behind the stats and the championship medals. We want to know who they are outside of the game that made them a household name, the turning points in their life and how they arrived to where they are today. In the hot seat, a man who's no stranger to fans of England and Manchester United. He spent 5 seasons at Old Trafford collecting 2 Premiership medals, plus a League Cup and FA Cup as well. In addition, he played a crucial role with the Three Lions at the 1990 World Cup, where England made the semi-finals, their best result since they were World Cup winners in 1966. Today, our guest is a well-known pundit in Asia. Welcome to Stadium Unplugged, Paul Parker. You've achieved quite a lot there.
Yeah, I'd like to have done a bit more, to be honest, really.
All right, we'll get to those things a little later on, but I want to take back, turn the clocks back to you being a little boy in East London. What was it like growing up then?
I didn't really grow up in East London. I was born in East London, born in West Ham. My mum, bless her, decided that she wanted to move us out, get us out away from London and get us out into the country, which is like Essex. Not anymore as a country, by the way. Things grow, don't they? But we moved out to a place called Rainham, and we went there. We was like virtually the only black family living around there. So we went from the frying pan into the fire, if we can say that.
We will actually get into all the things, the issues that you had to deal with growing up, racism. But as a boy, though, I know that you would have played a lot of football, but were there other things that you were interested in? No,
to be honest. People keep asking me other sports, and they go, I play golf, tennis, all the individual sports you associate with footballers. They might want to go and do in their pastime, and no, not for me. I got nothing. I wanted to be a footballer. The only other things I'd done, I only ever done anything if I was ever good at it. That was the way I was. The moment I'm not good at something, I think I don't want to know it. And I've done the usual things from school, the cross countries, the athletics, played a bit of rugby until such time that I couldn't relate to people grabbing my shirt, and I turned around, swung around to hit somebody, and I got banned from playing rugby.
Okay.
It's a good job he'd done that, because as normal they were bigger than me.
Yeah.
So, but no, I didn't. I couldn't. Even now, I'm not really. I watch a few things, but the only sport I could really sit down and watch is rugby league or rugby union, and quite enjoy it.
Okay. Well, speaking of football then, since that was the one thing that you knew you wanted to do from the very start, who started you onto it though?
Me.
You did?
It was me more than anything. My mum and dad both had to work, his sister and 2 brothers, and they had to worked all hours. And I just went myself. I joined the Cubs, which was run out of a church across the road. My mum used to make us go to church, so I couldn't play for a Sunday team, because we had to go. Mum forced us to go to a Sunday school. Yep. And so the Cubs had a football team, so I went to Cubs on a Thursday night and had a team that played on a Saturday. So I joined the Cubs to play football at 8 years of age, and that's how I started.
Well, seeing that your parents are, not the people behind you picking up football, what did they say when you said, okay, this is what I want to do with my life, I want to be a pro football player? I
don't think they really, kind of horror, I don't want you to do that. They kind of just went, yeah, okay. It's not going to happen. But you don't think it's going to happen. But I made my mind up myself. I wanted to play football, and then I didn't come out and say I want to be. I said I'd like to be. But the moment it started going on and things started falling into place, like starting training with Fulham from the age of 10, which had a training camp in a place called Dagenham, and we just go once a week. And all of a sudden, then once you start training with pro side, that's when you start thinking, oh, it could happen. All those years of sitting there watching the FA Cup and watching people lift a trophy, because it was all the FA Cup. No, winning the league wasn't anything, because there was no glamour in winning the league. And when you were a kid, you played 42 games then, and it was just, well, you won a league. But the FA Cup was all about, it was the last football, and that whole summer was just spent thinking about that team that won that cup. When the season started again, and you wait for that to come around again.
Which club was your heart and soul?
See, not many people know this, you see, but I was at the time a Spurs supporter.
Oh.
When I was a kid. I was, just something about Spurs, Pat Jennings, there was a player called Alan Gilzean, there was just so many good players. There was a John Pratt, there was just players, there was a young Steve Perryman. I can just remember those certain players who just, rub off, and I can just, all that time. And Manchester United then as well, they were the team, even though they weren't winning a lot then, but they were still such a big name. My parents come to England from Jamaica it was, my dad especially was Manchester United, George Best and Bobby Charlton.
Do you still carry Spurs sometimes in your heart?
No, not at all. I lost a lot of love for Spurs when I started playing against them as a youth team player.
I see.
And a certain player said a few things towards me, derogatory about the team I played for, the youth team, Fulham. And it just kind of, but I think as a pro, when you start playing, you lose. I mean, personally, I lost that kind of, I follow that team. I just want to be, it's about me. And that's the way it was. But that player, one player said something to me, and after that I kind of suddenly realised how that club wasn't really what I saw as a kid. I saw that club as, I saw Tottenham as a little bit pretentious, and there was just an FA Cup side then, and had great players, great individuals, but never had a team. And I kind of lost a little bit from that one statement a player said to me. I've said a few things to him back since, because his career he weren't fortunate enough, I should say, to have the career I had.
Well, you know, things go around, isn't it?
Exactly right. That's what I've always said about life.
Okay. You know, cutting aside all the bad people, good people, best friends in football, who are they?
I was always one of these people who, all my good friends are away from football, always has been, even with times at Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers. But if I was to say anybody, it would be the ones I keep in contact with closely, would be the likes of David May, Andy Cole, Dennis Irwin. They're the ones I speak to. During my time at United, I go out constantly with players, have dinner, you know, with wives or anything like that. Not really. Did I go to the players and have a drink, socialise late nights? Yes. But that's the way I was, and I think football was like that at the time. Certain players, if they'd grown up together, might do it, but we all had our own separate lives, because you spent a lot of time together, and that, you know, anything from 12 to 20 years being a pro, you spend a lot of time together. So did you really want to live in each other's pockets? Not me, I had good friends who I left behind in London when I was in Manchester United. And so, not really, but not really anybody constantly in contact with, especially now living in Asia, it gets very, very difficult. My life's changed, and I moved on with the times, and now I've got good friends who live where I live now in Singapore.
All right, we're just getting started here. More from Paul coming up after this.
You had to deal with it yourself. You couldn't go to anybody or anything. That was seen as weak.